hopinghoops.com. Please subscribe, and if you like the content, let me know. I find it interesting that persons are calling for Anthony Davis to be traded. Not very long ago, persons were calling for Russell Westbrook to be traded. With Russell Westbrook, I thought it was premature. With AD, not only is it premature, but he has some history with the Lakers. They won a championship together. Some persons are poking fun at AD's injuries. It got me thinking a little bit about mental health, especially with AD's last injury. As he walked to the locker room, you can see him drop to the ground, and Anthony Davis himself explained that he did not go down simply because of the injury, but it was also mental. So think about this just a little bit. A player who is as prone to getting injured as AD, every time something happens, it must be mentally draining. In his own words, he said, when he heard the pop, he thought it was something more serious than what it actually was. And as I mentioned earlier, that must be a weight on his mind. Not that he was not able to walk because simply of the injury, but the mental strain did not just metaphorically, but literally brought him down to the ground. As persons poke fun of persons who get injured repeatedly or persons who seem more prone to being injured, they may be thinking that they're motivating them, but they're not really thinking about the impact it is really having on the individual. I'm not sure how many persons remember Andrew Bynum and his behavior when he started to get injured repeatedly. You have to also question whether the thought of consistent injury also influenced his behavior because of the mental impact, and other persons who has been affected just look at their behaviors when they realize it's something that's beginning to happen on a consistent basis. What I also see is persons discussing Anthony Davis play for the season. And I understand what they're saying. Certainly, AD is not playing up to his talent level. But again, if we go back to the string of injuries he suffered, one could see a correlation between him getting hurt and the decline in his play. In Eddie's first year with the Lakers, the season was interrupted by COVID. It eventually went into a bubble, and we know what happened. The Lakers won a championship. But that was Anthony Davis's most healthy year. Let's also not forget how dominant he was in the bubble as he was healthy. Persons were also speaking about him being the best player on the Lakers, a team that had LeBron James playing pretty good. You would also hear AD speak with a level of confidence. That's just about 2 years ago. Last season, if persons remember, for more than half of the year, the Lakers were looking at as the team to beat until they got injured. In fact, they amassed the best record somewhere, I believe, going past halfway in the season. And as I said, AD, LeBron eventually got hurt. Even in the playoffs, persons were saying that if AD was healthy, they would have gotten by the Suns. You know, how quickly or how short a memory persons have. And who knows how far they would have gotten had they gotten past the Suns, especially when you look at how last year playoffs turned out with the number of players who got injured and other things that happened. But AD has not been fully healthy since somewhere around the middle of last season. We have seen flashes of his skills, but it has not been consistent. As I said, persons may be thinking, I'll poke some fun at AD at his injuries and it will motivate him. But what they're not really thinking about is that the mental tone that it's probably taking on him and what he's probably referring to in his latest statements. The essence being, we've seen what a healthy AD and a healthy LeBron can do, and that is getting a championship. The question should be is whether they will get the opportunity to play together healthy again. The question should not be should they be trading Anthony Davis. Hoopinhoops.com